How do the interactions around giving feedback within relationships in your life normally go? I'm going to hazard a guess that they can sometimes turn into arguments. Often one person accuses somebody else of doing something and the other person justifies their position. Let's use an example. We've got Sam and Max. They're in a relationship together. They live in the same house. Sam gets home, sees Max sitting in front of the television, and Max has left his plate of dirty dishes on the dining table. Sam goes over to Max, knowing that she's told him many times, and he's committed to many times to not do this. Sam goes over and says, "Max, you've left your plate on the dining table again. It's not my job to clean up after you." Max turns around and says, "Do you know how busy I've been this week? I've been flat out all day, every day, and this is the first time I've had a chance to sit down and just watch TV for 5 minutes. I just want some peace for 5 minutes." And from there, often an argument can continue. The Gottman Institute, who researches relationships and has been doing so for decades, has found there's a way to give feedback that's going to give the best chance of everybody getting what they want. Step 1 is to not use you statements. Instead, use I statements. So talk about how something makes you feel as opposed to what the other person has done. The next step is to acknowledge what the other person might be going through at the time. This prevents them feeling the need to justify what's happening with them in their response. So let's look at that example again with Max and Sam. Sam comes home just like before to find the dishes on the dining table. Max is lying on the couch watching TV. Sam goes over to Max and says, "Max, I understand you've been working really hard this week. However, when there's dishes left on the dining table, it makes me feel uncomfortable. I can't relax while that's going on. Would you be able to put those away when you get a moment?" Now, Max doesn't feel the need to justify his position anymore. It's already been done by Sam. So now Max is far more likely to, instead of arguing his case, to actually going and putting those dishes away. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, why does Sam have to take such a soft approach, almost letting Max off the hook? Sam's asked Max to not leave his dishes on the dining table in the past, and Max is committed to not doing it. But here he is on the TV, and there the dishes are. The reason is because Sam will most likely have a more positive outcome if she takes this approach. By not using you statements and by expressing acknowledgement of what the other person is going through, Sam, even though she may feel justified to use a different response, is best served by taking this course of action. So next time you've got some feedback to provide, try taking this approach, and I think you'll find you'll have a better outcome.